Good day, folks. So here I'm again recording, and this time, uh, you know, for a long time game that I've been playing for like a COVID era, I guess, and still playing it. I guess I just played actually today. I mean, there's not much going on, and I just gonna play the events on the literal last day, which is right now will be a good time, right? I think. So anyway, since I might as well, go back to the game because it's pretty much gonna update soon, and I just wanna see. And looks like they just update the new stuff, like this behind the scene or something. I don't know what this is about, so let's see what this is all about. Anyway, let's watch. So it's about let's start with Not Cry behind the scene of Genshin. I'm not gonna lie, the devs really hold on. The devs really selling out this Not Cry like it's a really crazy update or shit, something like that. I don't know, man. I'm really skeptical. It's like they're selling this one so fucking much. It's either become good or just just base stuff or it's bad. I'm really skeptic about the story. Like they're selling it. If I like saying something being so hyped up too fucking much, I'm start being skeptical. Example: Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm also now we all know like how Grand Theft Auto always been and like stuff. I mean, they all been doing good this much. Although they kind of milk get Grand Theft Auto online uh too much, and then also if I do remember, Red Dead Online also got left out without no update for like a long time. They did great with Red Dead Redemption 2, so it's literally a cinematic gameplay. What the hell are we talking? Anyway, what I'm about to say is that I kind of start to get skeptic about this, so pardon me for that. Anyway, now what is this about? After the information but not correct. Okay, hold on. The voice is too small. Oh, that's the reason. Okay. And since they're speaking with Chinese, I need a closed caption for this. Oh shit, that's big ass. Good.
在诺德卡莱的相关信息放出之后，项目组的
Yep.
小伙伴们也观察到各位旅行者有很多不同的解读和猜想，有一些比较天马行空了，有一些
Yeah,
跟我们的
some
想法
people got hyped up, while some probably speculated so close with what we had in
有点接
mind.
近。
It's I don't know. We all know that this is gonna be
大家
located
好
at
奇
the
心
top of
今天我们
Mondstadt,
就
which is
站在创作者
Nesnaya,
的角度
somewhere around there, right?
去跟大家聊一聊接下来诺德卡莱的版本内容。那同时呢，我其实也想借这个话题和大家去分享一下，创作原神的理念和思路。创作原神这样一个作品，有点像编织一张巨大的画布。起初我们从2个方向去开始编织，一个叫做诸国的冒险，另一个叫做追寻血亲。然后就过了好几
Yeah,
年的
that's
时
like
间，
your entire
这个
goal
画
of
布呢
creating
也
this
就
game.
逐渐有了。
So we all know like they pretty much already reached the end. Like this is already the 5th year. This is 2025. They were released in 2020, the COVID era. They said at the first time they create this game that they're gonna make this game a long-term game spanning about 5 years. So this is like they pretty much like already the end of their last breath, which is pretty much like probably the reason why they prolong. They kind of like making whatever like they kind of want to prolong Sneznaya, right? Because Sneznaya is literally the last place, the last continent from the whole Teviat, and they kind of like want to make it. They want to prolong it. They want to stretch it as far as possible. Like they are telling us about Nordkrai. Like Nordkrai is not if I do get it, Nordkrai is not really part of Snesnaya, but it's kind of border between Snesnaya and the Mondstadt, and they kind of release it first. Why? Who knows?
值的框架。这个时候我们
So
回头
they
去
kind of
看
take
的
their
话，发现哎
time
不对呀、这个画布它留的
so that
线头
at least
太
the
多
game
了。
could breathe
然而
longer.
这些线头里面
Now,
其
is
实
that
包
a
含了
good
非
thing?
常多的信息。
That's
提
the
瓦特
problem.
大量的人物事都
This
是通
game
过
is
这
an
些
online
细碎的线索
surface
串联在
game.
一起的。但是我们
Now,
的节奏呢，太快了，
sadly,
太匆忙
they
了。
sell this game
很多
with a
有意思的
story
点
on
并
mind.
没有
with progression on mine. Now the problem is, game with story and progression will end one day. They will end. So, what is the concept of making a story-driven progression game with an online service game? I've this is always on my mind, but it's like online progression and story-driven cannot goes well together. It's because what? The story progression will be the key on making the game, whether the game will be long or short. Now, the problem is with the idea of making a game long term or online service, it means that the developer expected this game to live as long as, I guess, like 7, 8, 10 years, 20 years, forever, I guess, as long as WoW's World of Warcraft, right? I never played the game, but I see that game's still alive. I guess the game is still there. So yeah. So this is the problem. They make this game story driven. It's based on a story. The concept of progression is there. Now, do you think this a game that is driven by story can like can have a long-term service, online service on them? I don't think so. Well, I guess they could like goes out for like 6, 7 years, but that is like really stretching it. Because why? They're gonna they're gonna goes out of story. This is like they're stretching up the SNES by releasing Not Cry first, but sooner or later they will end up completing the story. And what happened if Genshin Impact complete the story? It means the game is done. It means that the game is finished. And as much as everybody else talk about it, what happened if you finish the game? You either just gonna play it again for fun, or you're not gonna play the game until you feel like you wanted to replay the game, which is could spanning like from few months until years. Now, will this game live long? Now that will be the hard question. It all goes back to the devs, right? Like, are they planning to make the game long or not? I'm sorry, I'm not really focusing on what they're talking about. So we want to return the stars in our canvas to the rightful. So they said that they want to bring they claim they want to bring back their ideals in making the game back to how it's supposed to be, like when they make the game first time. That is what we want to achieve with Not Cry, which is why the result of these ideologies they are chasing is Not Cry. To have ideal location, naturally bring in all of Tavia's different factions to create a story together for a common goal. Easier to do, location has to be a place where all elements naturally converge. Travelers familiar with DLC comics in the Gotham City is one such location. Qualcomm Trails Stellaris, guess it's self-governing cross-blast state. I'm not following. I could see DC. I'm not following the other one though. Night City Zone, Half Cities, Tristam, or Drang Lake. I'm sure Traveler are familiar with in Genshin Impact. We want to call this location Not Cry. So you're telling me Not Cry is like the combination of everyone in one place? What? So it's like Tavian Hub then. Okay, you do good with music. I gonna give you that, okay? When we use geographical concept of nation, relying on different faction common goal to shape the content for the year. For our passport shadow, we choose the moon as the keyword, the central theme of this version. Changing the way our new version are named to the song Welking Moon. Wait, what? So they're gonna change their naming version to like Song of Welcome Moon. So it's no longer like version 5.6.7, but like what? For the Song of Welcome Moon, it will begin after version 5.8, which means wait, so Not Cry will release at 6.0. See what I said? They're gonna stretch. They're really going to stretch Nesnaya as far as possible because they knew once they reach Nesnaya, the story gonna concludes there, and then pretty much gonna bring it like to Celestia, which is not gonna be that long after that. Which means the game is finished. That's gonna be that's the problem. Once you make a game with story, it's gonna be hard to make it online service. There's a stretch. Elder Scrolls, Bethesda. People really want like Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right? Elder Scrolls to be online playable, so they could play with their friends. Now the problem is Bethesda find it really hard to make Skyrim to be online. So what did they do? They make a standalone game, Elder Scrolls Online, specific for online and MMORPG. Now this game is not by far is not MMORPG because there's no massive multiplayer. At most, it only has 4 players on it, right? So it's not MMORPG. It is RPG. Now the problem is RPG will have completion, but they want to make it online. So it's like the concept of story-driven RPG that has online service. Now that I actually really confused. How can that genre exist? Like if it means it's online, then it has to be long term. Now, how long could it goes? Like this is already the 5th year they make the game, right? I'm sorry if I'm yapping a lot, but you know, to be fair, I enjoy the game as far as the good stuff is, right? Now, a lot of people's now when it was still Monster.ly, Inazuma people was crazy until they saw the next level and then they thought, wait, then Inazuma is that bad. And then when Sumeru came out,
对于旅行者而言还比较疏远的内容。那基于这个思路的话，我们分别对月亮和罗德卡莱。
Okay, anyway, what I want to say is that Sumeru was good in the first part, and then when the desert goes out, it's like blind as fuck. And you want me to explore that big of a place, really? Holy crap! And then the Aranara quest is so fucking long. I'm literally fed up. It's taking 3 hours for me, and people was so tired of the Aranara. They might actually take weeks or even months. Now, what else do I want to say? When they released One Tiny, it was like they returned to the peak moment. It's like the newer peak of the game's ever been. And then when Atlan released, it sucked. The story sucked. The concept I see like what they try to do, but the concept is just so weird. I just can't make it out of it. And now they stretch Snesnaya and release Not Cry as 6.0 or whatever this thing called.
在月亮的这个概念上
Song of Welcome Moon version. So it's not 6.0 guys, it's Song of Welcome Moon.
无关，但是其实高度相关的情报，就比如说李月的书籍《竹林月
The
夜》
book in Liu Ye, Moonlit Bamboo Forest, Forbidden Text, Before Sun and Moon.
日月前世，还有雪山、鹤怪，
Dragon
还有
Spine,
奥西坎
Surumialan,
纳塔的
Mural,
壁画，
Sunokanatan,
甚至大家非常
Welcome
熟
Moon
悉
Goddess
的
that
月
everyone
卡
very
女神，
familiar with.
以及在
Song of Welcome Moon web event.
空月之歌这个网页活动里
The
面，我们
SCD
揭
web
露的
event.
预言，
The
还
Prophecy
有
Revealed.
5.6版本前瞻节目里
5.6
面
special
给大家
program.
展示过的新版本的
The log
logo。
of new version.
那刚才这些已释出的内容，它其实共同反映了一个事实，那就是提瓦特曾经存在过3个月亮。
Davyat
在提
once
瓦
had
特世
three
界格
moons.
局
They
形
exist in
成之初
Davyat
的时
since
候
the
就已经
beginning of
存
the
在。
world.
那这也是为什么我们说这个
That's
月
why
亮
we
它是
saw
具
that the
备最
primordial
原
power
始、
of the
最
moon
纯
is
粹
the
的力量
purest
的。
form of
那这股
power,
力量甚至比大家
even
现在
older than
熟知的
seven
这个
elements
七元素力还
that
要
we all
更
know
早。
and love.
那同时呢，也
At
是
the
因
same
为
time,
月亮的力量既纯
it's
粹
because the
又
moon's
强
power
大。
is so pure and
那刚才我
potent
们
that the
讲到
faction
了
we
各
talked
种势
about
力，他们都
earlier
会被这股力量
all
牵
look
引过
here
来。
by the
那
moon's
有的
power.
人是为了夺取它，
Some
有
want
的
to
人可能是为了
seize
消灭
it,
它。
while others
那当
seek
然
to
还会有各
destroy
种
it.
各样其他的
There are
理由。
those with other reasons.
那这些各自
It's
有
people
不同
with
目的
different
的人，
goals
他们聚集在一起，
come
形
together,
成各种势
form
力。那他们之间肯定会有
various
一
factions,
些
some wish to
冲突。
butt head,
那有的也可能会达成
others
合
will
作
want to work together.
不管是冲突还是合作，那将会构
Mhm.
成旅行者在
Yeah.
诺德卡莱冒险的一个很重要的部分。
Yeah.
那这个作为故事主舞台的这个诺德卡莱，那也会
Okay.
成为旅行者们
Nordcry will
在
also
新版
be
本
what
最值得期待的内容。
look forward to most in new version. Who will you meet in Nordcry?
我们在创
A lot of
作
stuff.
诺德卡莱的时
People, I
候去
guess.
思考过一个问题：
Yeah.
当你到了一个陌生的城市旅行，
Foreign city.
你第一个想要见到的人是谁呢？
Jen's mom.
大部分情况下是你的亲戚朋友，对吧？或者是非常熟悉的网
Xiang
友。
Ling.
这个道理在诺德卡莱也是一样
Farka.
的。我们认为最能给旅行者
Who
带
knows?
来安全感的，就是我们非常熟悉的
Of course, gotta
西
be
风
Fafonius.
骑士团的老朋友，
I mean,
哪
they're the
怕是
closest.
只闻其名的大团长法尔加。
Okay, so we're gonna
法
meet
尔加目
Farka.
前正在诺德卡莱对
Yeah.
远征中的一些发现进行调查，在即将到来的5.6版本，他也会有一次意外的出场。那除了光
Oh
是
wait,
听到
Farka
名
gonna
字就
appear
让
in
人很安
5.6?
心的角
I
色
guess we didn't
当
see that.
然也有
Right
听
in
到名字
the
就让人很担
special
心的
program.
角色存在。在纳塔的魔神任务的最后，马约卡跟我们提到过，运动的某个据点就在诺德卡莱，他们在研究跟古月遗骸有关的情报。除此之外，好像还有几位执行官也都获名获案的
So
参
there
与
will
到
be
了
Heartbringer
诺德卡
there
莱这
too.
场巨
If
大
that
的
makes
阴谋当
sense,
中。
of course.
当时马维卡他还提到了一些可以使用特殊力量的诺德卡莱的居
Who
民，
can use
那我
special
们叫他
powers?
双月
We
之
call
子。
them the Frostmoon
也许
sign.
就是双月之子这个名词
What
它
special power?
大家可能不太了解，比较有距离感。那他
Of
们有一
course
些
it's
特
not
征
ringing a bell.
其
It's
实很
new.
类似大家比较熟知的凯尔特神话。
Have certain element that those of you familiar with Celtic mythology may recognize. Celtic. I'm sorry, I'm not Western.
凯尔特神话中有一个教派叫德
Oh,
鲁伊
okay.
教。
In Celtic myth, druids. Oh, it's Plan. I played a little bit of Dota 2. I know, at least I know druids.
教派，
Lone
那这个
druid.
教派是崇尚自然的，他们把
Yeah.
天体
Few
也就
souls
是
their
星星
body and stars
作为
that
自己
is
的
God.
神奇。那其实大
So
家知道
like
月
the
亮
power
也
of
是
nature, I
天
guess.
体的一个。
So
那
dendro.
在不久前的版本活动里面，
Wow, wow,
我
wow.
们也提到过这些双月之子的教
I
徒
don't know
是
what
可以使
druid.
用魔法。
So like there's
那
a
另外
lot
呢，这种对
of
月亮进
depiction
行
of
崇拜的
druids.
组织，那也不是到了诺德卡莱这个版本才第一次提
Yep.
及。那实际上在原神之前的内容里，比如1.2版本的龙脊雪山，还有
Dragon's
2.2
Spine,
版本的后半
Soromi
岛，
Island.
那其实都有这样的组织存
Yeah.
在。那在最近的纳塔
Uh-huh.
版本，其实有一些世界
Some
任务
podcasts
也
also
提及了
mention
相关的
related
信息。那
information.
其实也不难猜
Not
啊，
hard
这
to
个
guess
双
the
月之子是一
Frostmoon
个崇
sign
拜月亮
also
的教
group that
派。那
worship
在
the
这片
moon.
土地上，他
Their
们的
land
立
their
场
duty is also
就
to
是
do
尽
the
其
best to
所能
protect
的去
everyone in the
庇
moon,
护
the
月
moon,
亮带来的一
everything the
切
moon。offers.
那这一点呢，就会跟前来抢夺
Of
这
course,
个
these are
月
the
之力量
class
的
of
原种
Batui
之
who are
间，一
there
定
to
会发
steal
生
the
冲
power
突
of。the moon.
在诺德卡莱本土
Of
还有其他的
course,
几个势力，
classic.
福尼骑士
Uh-huh.
会、
Voynich
直
Guild,
登人以
Light
及狂
Keepers,
猎。
and Wild Hunt. Wild Hunt, if you
福
don't
尼
know,
骑
Wild
士
Hunt
会
is
顾名思义是一个从事
Wild Hunt is the fucking I even forgot. Abyss. There you go. Thank you, my brain. Thank you for working with me. The Wild Hunt is the Abyss faction. So yeah, the Voynich is the Merchant Guards.
是商业活动的组织，他
Uh
们
huh.
的总部
Their main
设
base
置在一个
is
叫
in
做
place
纳
called
夏镇的
Nasha
城
Town.
镇里。
Ooh, is this
那
like the concept art? It looks blocky and very lively. It's like I'm seeing a 2.0 one tiny. Yeah, with the flying ship and everything. This looks like a steampunk it looks like a steampunk city. Yeah, very resembling one tiny.
纳夏镇这个地方鱼龙
Traveler
混
get
杂，
mixed up with all kind
旅
of
行者
people.
也会在这里跟各种各样的人
So
打
Nasha
交道。
Town,
那其中有
probably
一个
like the hub.
叫做
One
密
particular
文馆的
organization to
独
look
立
at is
机构
the
是最为特殊的，
Curatorium
他
of
们会
Secret.
接受委托，
They
处
accept
理一
commission
些
to
难以
handle
解决
problem that are difficult
或
to
者
solve
只
or
能
can only
隐
be
秘
solved
解决的问
quietly.
题。OK，
I see.
那直登人和狂
The
猎
Light
呢，又
Keepers
是
and
另
the
一个
Wild
故
Hunt
事。
are a whole other
他们
story.
也是
First and
彼
foremost,
此
they
存
are
在冲
enemy
突的势
to
力。
each other.
诺德卡莱之所以
Uh-huh.
在剧情里面
One
被
regional
称
place
作一
considered
块
autonomous area in the story
有一部分原因啊，
because
就
located in the
是
age of
这里
Davian.
是处在提瓦特世界的边缘的。 坎瑞亚的灾
After the
变发
catastrophe
生
in
之后，
Canria,
这
the
里也
world
是
for the
第
first
一
area to have
批
been
受
corroded
到
by the
深
abyss.
渊侵蚀的区域。这里
So
存
the
在的
abyssal
深
force
渊
that
势
exists
力
in
其
North
实
are
是
extraordinarily
非常强
powerful.
大的，以至于形成了一种
These
名为
forces gather to form
狂
abyssal
烈的深
calamity
渊
known
灾
as
害。
the Wild Hunt.
狂烈这个势
The
力
words
或者说
come
这个
from a
名词
Norse
啊，
folk
来自
legend
于北欧的民间神话，是它的意思是说一群幽灵
refers
或
to
者
an
说
army of
超自然
ghosts
生
of
物组成
supernatural
的一个大
hunters
军，无止境的在野
pursuing
外
their
去
prey through
追
the
逐猎
wind.
物。狂烈的成员可能是 精灵、仙女，甚至是死者。而在原神里呢，狂烈是一群
The
幽
army
魂
of
大军。
spirit.
狂烈的灾害的开始，往往是
So
以旅行者们已经见过
abyssal
的
monster the travel
深
have
渊谋，
already
也就
seen,
是兽性猎犬
Rift
作
Hound
为
and
先
Vanguard.
锋。随后，这个
And
幽
their way to
魂大
goes,
军
the
会
army will ruthlessly
无
destroy
情地
anything in their
抹消掉
path.
他们途经所遇
Okay,
到的一切
so
存在。
new enemies.
正是因为罗德卡莱
Interesting.
有狂烈思
Not
维，
really
所以它
though.
也驻扎着
Gonna
一
be
个自
some
古以来
like
专门对
usual,
抗
right?
狂烈的组织。那他们被称作
Except
直斗
if
人
it's。gonna be
那
boss.
这
Now
个
that's
这个词也
interesting.
不是我们第一次提及啊。
Yeah,
在
the
乌
Light
龙版
Keeper
本我们新推出了一套圣遗物，这个圣遗物
artifact
的
set.
故事，讲述的就是这个组织的一些事迹。
Oh yeah, the Light Keeper's
简单
artifact.
理解的话，他们就有
They're
点
like
像
border
是
guards patrolling the arena
守
of
卫
North
在罗德
Cry
卡
to
莱附
defend
近
it.
的边防战士。是一支纪律很严明的兵
Military
团。
force with strict
那讲到这
discipline.
里，我们其实已经介绍
So
了
they're the
有
soldier
双月
of
之
the
子
locals,
有
okay?
愚人众，有伏
Frost
羲
Moon
上
Sign
尉，
is
有直登
the
人，
one
还
who
有狂烈。
worship the moon.
那再加上
Fatui
之
is
前情
Fatui.
报当中
Everyone
提
know
及
that.
过的，还有其他的活跃在罗德卡莱这片土地上的势力啊。
Well,
我
we're
想
not
就
gonna
是
talk about
旅行者应该可
some
以意
like,
识到，就
come
是
on, are we
我
talking
们
about
所说的
the
这个千头万
like
绪的这
what?
个线头也好啊，包括刚才画
The
布式的这个叙事也好，其实也不是我们随随
Treasure
便便打
Hunter?
的比
Yeah, I
方。
don't need to know about that
那要
shit.
把这些不同来历不同个性的势力融合到《空月之歌》这个大版本的故事和世界当中。
So it's not 6.0,
是一个
guys.
非
It's
常
called
非常
Wild
庞大
King
的细致
Moon
的工程。
version. Are there any real-world archetype that can encompass the design of this region?
很遗憾，没有。
Unfortunately, no.
绝对的讲啊，
Not
没
at
有
all.
会有一些
There'll be
环
some
波罗
scenery
的海
resembling
的自然
around
风貌，但是
area
人
around
文
Baltic
完
Sea.
全
In
是
the
架
end,
空
it's
的。
all work of fiction.
不过
It
讲
is.
真啊，
This is a
这个
talent
对于
for
我来
us.
说其实是一个挑战。这个是不用
We're
文
not
明
using
作
a
为主题，
civilization
而
as
是
a
以
main theme,
人
but instead
作为
people.
主题带来的挑战。在这种情况下，
These guys
比起
compared to the
传
traditional
统的做法，
methods.
观察文明要如何映射在人身上，我们更像是在思考说，如果舞台上出现的是这些人，由他们构成的文明，会变
So
成什
what
么样
will
子？
be closely
又具备
resemble this
哪些
area?
要
Huh?
素？换句话说，就是
And we move from concept of creating civilization to creating people. Oh, so this is like the Frost Moonwalker or something?
从内容为文明服务
The Moon
到为
Worshipper?
人服务的转变。那这个思路的变化，对于
Yeah,
我们
that's
的
gonna
创作来
be
说
the
是尤为重要
abyss.
的。
I can see that.
最终我们想要达到的效果，跟几年前美术表达的终极目标其实是一致的。我们希
Ouch.
望无论是谁去到诺德卡莱，
Uh-huh.
都能找到属于自己这段旅程的自由
Yep.
乐趣。
你硬要问
For
这
those
些
asking
表
if
达
there
当中
were
有没有现实
inspiration from
原型，
reality
那
in
当
this
然是有
version,
的。
the answer is of
对吧
course.
大家都知道艺术创作它
Artistic
从来不
expression
可
gonna
能
be
完全脱离
completely
现
divorced
实。
from real life.
那就比如说大家谈到
Every
北
art
欧
are drift, yeah, I
北
can
欧
see
一
that.
定会有一个特殊的地貌，就是峡湾对吧？那有的旅行者可能在现实当中在挪威、在冰岛这些国家，我们亲自见过
Norway
这种
or
壮观的景
Iceland
色。还有一些旅行者，他可能是在一些经典的游戏作品里面
in classic
见过
game.
比如说像早期的一些作品比如说《魔兽世界》，
The Howling Fjord
它曾经
in
有过
World
一个
of
地区叫
WoW.
豪风峡湾，还有巫师山
Okay,
可能大家耳
Isle
熟
of
能详了，它有一个
Skellige,
地区叫
Witcher 3
史坦利
Valheim.
群岛，对吧？那在
So I'm gonna guess like you guys gonna take a lot of reference from where's Baltic Sea again? I'm just gonna guess like it's in Europe, probably combination of the if I'm gonna say Vinland Saga and the area around them, is it viable? I'm gonna guess no, so I'm gonna guess Balkan gonna get included. Who knows?
原
It's
神
probably
当
the
中
Europe,
有一点
entire
不一
Europe,
样的是原神它是一个基于卡通渲染和手
cell
绘风格
shading
的作
hand
品。
drawn style.
那在这样一个表达底下，这种地貌应该怎么呈现那这件事情也是我们曾经没有做过的事情。虽然它没做过虽然它很难，对吧？但是它非常有价值。
再比如刚才提到的双月之子和约人众的冲突，这个概念在美术层面的表达其实是自然和人工的碰撞和冲突，
Do what you want,
具有
okay?
原始气息、浑然天成
Sense
的
of
景色，
primal and natural
如何
beauty
与富有
with a
焦灼
civilization
感
that is
和
both
科技
ornate yet
感的内容去共
technologically
存的。
advanced.
这
Oh, I
个
thought
理念并非没有
we
先
already
例
got
地平
advanced
线，
technology.
异度之刃、
Horizon, Xenoblade
真荣
Chronicle,
2期，
Final Fantasy
我们
series.
也是这
Thank
些
you for
优
those
秀作品的
outstanding
粉丝，
works.
也熟知他们的
Familiar
表
with the
达手法。
method expression.
但提瓦特有自己的表达，原
Uh-huh.
神的设计必须要建立在原神自己的设定要
And
素
what
上。
would that
比如
be?
说到神力，
Divine
说
power,
到提瓦特
symbol
的
of
标志，
Daviad.
那就不得不提到
The statues.
遍布
Yeah, I
各
can see
国
that
的
all.
7天神像。
They all resembling
在
like
诺
the
卡莱
original
也有
god, yeah?
当地居民根据对于月神的信仰建立的这
They
个
have
神像。
statues built by local based on their faith in the moon goddess. Wait, this is like the statue of... I guess it's not statue of Seven, right? What is this?
那么双方在诺德卡莱在提瓦特原始力
So
量上
struggle
的争
during the
夺
two factions
是
of
否可以
could be
具
said they
象
also
化为
fighting over
对神
statues.
像的干预呢？
Also, the statue.
我们其实可以尝试
We
通
want to
过
try changing
神
the
像的
statue
外观变化
appearance.
来体现两股势
Reflect the
力
ecological
相互
location
对
where these
抗
two
的
sides are
地方
fighting.
生态。
刚才
So the statue of Seven around the North Cry will be like different. Depends on which faction owns the
我
place.
们也
Is
提
that
到
what
一
you
个问
mean?
题，就是创作者和玩家之间是会存在一些信息差的。那
Uh-huh.
消解创作者和玩家之间的信息差，就是我们经常面临的一个挑
Challenge
战。
of the Equator. What is
比
that?
如我举个例子，就是提瓦
The
特
question
的
of
科技
Tavian
水
level
平
of
问题。
technological advancement.
很多旅行者他其实基于早
Many
年接
travelers
触
base
原
their
神的
understanding
印
on the
象，他
first
认为
impression of Genshin Impact and
提
feel
瓦
that Tavian is relatively medieval. Well, to be fair, that's your when you show us Mondstadt, that you're selling kind of like, oh, this is like the combination of German or Holland, Netherlands, or whatever around that place. I mean, the windmills kind of sell it, and then the cathedral sells it, right?
瓦特是
It's
一个
kind
比较
of
落
like
后的，大
the
概15
cent.
世纪左右的奇幻世
Yeah,
界。
and then Liu Ye is definitely, this is like a fucking old Chinese era, old Yonghua or China's, right? Like modern China's not gonna look like this. This is like a really kind of not really old, but kind of old China. So yeah, 15th century is pretty much like
那其实我们随
the
着这
limiters.
5年多的内容更新，
And
我
then
们有陆
you
陆续续
start
的给玩
giving
家
us
展
like
示
the
提瓦特
Inazuma
这个世
looks
界不
like
同的
the
侧面。
Inazuma
比如
from
在纳塔这个文明，
feudal
我们有
Japanese
很多
era,
远超人类文
and
明
then
的
the
古文科
fucking
技。
Sumeru. What was the reference of Sumeru? It's like the city on trees, and then with a lot of desert. I don't know what is the reference of that, but then you guys sell Fontaine. Well, some of the reference pretty much like tells us that Fontaine is combination of British and French, but you know the technology was just absurd. If we combine literally the whole place, right? It's too advanced. But I
比如
guess you're
前
selling
几
like it's
年
an
每
advanced
个
country,
国
and then
家
you
它
sell
都会有一些
Natlan.
组织，比
Natlan
如
is
教令
like
院，比
a
如愚
mixed
人
match
众，
of
比如
old
枫丹科
stuff.
学院，
Like
那他们也是一直在尝。
it's like what? You could see there's Texas over there. There's also literal Brazil, and then I guess you're talking about the American area, right?
尝试挑战尖端的科技。所以接下来在这个有
Do
很
not
多
cry.
个势力融合的罗德
And
卡
then
莱，
Kaendria is
是
like
自然会
the
出
most
现比其
technological
他地方
advanced
高得
with
多
all the
的科技
robots
造
and
物和一
stuff.
些独特的风景的。虽然我们是认为这些内容的铺垫时间已经足够长了吧，
What do you
涵
mean
盖的
this
内容
lasts a
面
long
也
time?
比较丰富，但是具体的在某
No
个特
fucking
定的
way
位
you're
置
gonna
呈现
stretch
它们
Not
的时候，
Cry into what?
不可避免的还是会让一
6.x?
些旅行者觉得比较突兀。那持续的如何解决这个信息差的问题，如何去消解它，其实对我们来说也算是一个难题。
Is there anything you'd like to share about the future? Oh, what is that?
原神的未来呀，我觉得未来这个词，
Future
未来这个
is
词有点大。
Good question. What is anything you like to share about the future? No, more like, what would the Genshin Impact's futures gonna be? Are you gonna stretch it out as long as possible, or are you gonna complete it as it meant to be?
其实我以前经常提一个词叫
Like
做
what
进化。
your dev said in the
进化
first
这个
time
词
when the
说
game
起来很容
released.
易啊，它不是一件很
We're
容易
gonna
的事。
expect this game gonna span
就是
about
你一个
6
人、一个组织、一
years.
个产品，你想进化，你
This
需
is
要不
gonna be
断
like
的
the
去
6
对自己
years
发
already.
问，你要逼着自己去
So
做
when
出一
will
些
that
改
be?
变。比如去
When the
年，我
game's
记
gonna
得
end?
2024年的时候，大
Oh,
耳
I
哥有
remember that
说过
everyone
一句
said
话，
that
叫
for
做
Genshin they only
原神
constant
除了对旅行者的
it's our
陪伴以外，
companionship
一
with
切皆可
travelers.
改变。
Everything else can
那可能
change.
当时大家会觉得这是一句客套话，
Thought everyone
但
thought
其
it's
实
just
对我们
formality
来
of
说，
our team.
就是你要去做出一些改变，不是一个随口说
So
说的这种口号。我举个
go
例子
straight
啊，
to the
可能没
point,
跟大家
brother.
聊过这个事情，就是去年年底的时候，我们跟
Uh-huh.
着公司的代表团，
Oh,
去日本
Tokyo.
东京参加了索尼的一
Sony
个
PlayStation
30周
30th
年庆祝晚
anniversary
会。
celebration.
那在那一晚呢，我们其实是跟
Uh-huh.
很
We
多
talk with
业界的
many
前辈
industry
交流过。
veterans.
那比如说
Yo, anybody you guys remember who is who in this space? Like I think I know some of them. Yeah, there's a lot. There's kind of some of the Japanese producer that I know. I think I know that guy. I think that guy is a musician. Yeah. There's also some other too. Man, of
From
course.
Software 公司
Oh
的
yeah,
社长宫崎英
that
高先
face.
生，
I knew that one.
还有史克威尔艾尼克斯最终幻想七
Square
重制版3
Enix,
部曲的制
sure.
作人滨口直树
The
先生，
remake, Naoki
还有当年
Hamaguchi,
在最困难的
Shuhei
时候支持过
Yoshida.
我们的吉田修平先生等等等
Yeah,
等，我
yeah,
们见
yeah,
过很
sure.
多很多的前辈。那
The
我们跟
RPG
他们也聊到
veterans.
了一些关于游戏的创作出发点，也聊到了
Yep.
包括还有开放世界的设计要素，也聊到了这
Uh-huh.
些作品我们怎么去和下一世代的玩家产生共情。
Yeah.
我们聊了很多很多这样的话题。那我当时就在想，我说《原神》到今天已经走过了5年多。
There you go.
那这些作品在过去的30年里
Genshin has been around for 5 years, but this other game has been around for 30 years. You cannot what to say? Oh god. You try to make a comparison between your Genshin Impact, which is an RPG, long-term games, online service games with a literal franchise that literally has numbers behind their titles. God, don't you understand? There's a huge difference there. Final Fantasy back then was never online. It was on a fucking Game Boy. It was on a fucking Nintendo. It was on a handheld game. It was on a fucking console game. It was an offline, most above all. It's an offline service game. Was meant to start and finish when it should be. It is story heavily driven, and it keeps going there, except for Final Fantasy 14, which is MMORPG. And ooh, that is not an old word. MMORPG has always been there, I guess. Now, what's the difference is Final Fantasy and most of the game that you say have been spending for 30 years, they were their main target for creating the game was that it was never meant for online. Some of them might have online services, but the main purpose is the games to have a story that can be played from start to finish. It has a finish line. It is a story-driven game. It has progression. Now, you guys, you make the same concept, a game with story-driven, a game with progression, but the problem is you make the game to be online service. Now,
他们陪伴了我们30年。那原神也好，
how does that work?
其实我们都在被现
Of
在的
course,
时代挑战。
you guys gonna get
我们都
challenged.
必须去思考
Really,
怎么
like,
去改变自己。
can you make the
那
game
和这
still
些前
alive
辈讨论
even
这些
after?
话题啊，我当然是很
There will
兴
be
奋
time
的，
when you have
也
to
很荣
finish
幸
the
的。
game,
但是回来的
complete
路
the
上我一直
story,
在问我
and
自
then
己，就是
what?
我们是不是真的
That's the main problem.
做到
Like,
了皆可改
and
变
then what?
是不是真的什么都可以做到呢？那我觉得很显然，我们可以去做的事情还有非常非常非常多。
有什么内容是只有原神可以做的？有什么新的尝试是只有原神的团队才有可能想到的？我们一直在探索这样的可能性，但是往往
To be fair,
阻
what
碍
you
我们
guys
探
done
索
are
的都
pretty
是一
much
些
like
陈旧、具有
crazily
惯性的思维
ambitious.
镣铐。那比如
Your
说，
project is ambitious
大世界
because
不能
what?
放角色，
You're the
为
first
什
of the
么？
kind. I applaud you for
前几
that.
年用户的
What
设
you
备性
did
能不
is
够，
actually
那现在够
phenomenal.
不够呢？
The perfect
够的话
moment,
就
the
放
perfect
呗。
time with the
所以说，这个就
crazy
是有益
ambitions
旅文，
create a perfect
就是我们
chance
前段时间可以在大世界
and a
偶
perfect
遇
result.
角色
Your
的这个
games
活
was
动。
played by literally
任务的
everyone
设计
in
一
every
定要
part of
固
the
化
world.
在传统的模式里吗？当然不
It's
是，
probably
对吧？
never gonna
只
happen
要故事讲得好，
in the
只
spanning
要
of a
角色
century.
塑造得当，
The
只要
last
玩家看得
pandemic,
爽，
because
后
what?
日谈、活动剧
Pandemic
情、
was there in
世界任务
2020.
有
The
什么
previous
样的
pandemic
形
was
式
there
是
in
不能做
2020.
的呢？
The
所以
next
在
pandemic
空月
will
之
be a
歌的版
fucking
本前期，
century if we
我
see
们
it over
先
and over,
尝
right?
试用超规格的主线承担了角色们的主要塑造工
Overscaled
作，
main storyline
而
to
原
shoulder the
本的
bulk
那种
of a character
祖宗之法
progression.
不可变的传说任务、邀约任务的内容，我们尝试用更加润物细无声的做法，自然地融入到这个世界的探索和交互里，用内容去替代台词，用反馈去替代叙事，把体验做活、做宽，做到更加生动。
And what does that mean?
直灯人跟狂猎
They
对吧，他
kind
们是
of
对
like
手，
talk
那
around.
对手
I
之间
kind
会不
kind
会
of
有一些特殊的
confused.
互动？比如刚才讲纳夏镇的灭文馆，那灭文馆说对情报收集的工作很有一套。
Now suddenly
这个
this
情
guy
报收集
talking
工
about
作
the
有没有
faction.
办法从
What the
可
hell?
玩的内容里去
Uh-huh.
呈现他们对情报的这种掌控
Yeah,
力？
sure.
那还比如说双月之子，它跟月亮之间有很深的关系，那这种联系能不能跳出阅读物这样一个限制，变成一个体验，一个实实在在存在的东西？那我觉得就是原神这个团队到今天为止，我认为是有能力把我们刚才说的这些构想，
Are they actually copying
以一个符合我
ZZZ
们预
Dev
期的品质
future talk?
把它踏实落地的。
Because you know when ZZZ do the dev future talks,
能够调入
they
这种
actually
一切的
nail
资
it.
源
Like when they say
来
what
呈
their
现我们
game's
内
gonna
容
look like in the
我
future
们
and
的小伙
something
伴
like that,
们
okay, I
大家
buy
还
it.
有一起陪伴
Like
我们这么
okay,
多
sure,
年来一
that's
直
where
信
you
任我
want
们
your game to
愿意跟我
progress
们
to.
一
But
起进步
now
愿意跟我们一起
I don't
成
know.
长
Like I
每一位玩
mean,
家。
sure you
最
can
后
do
诺
it
卡莱的是
too.
思路
Like
是一
why
样的
not?
人
But
才
I
是
don't
永恒
really
的主
see
人
anything
才
like
是前进的
crazy
原动力
here.
只要我们团
Like
队的小伙
I'm
伴
still
还
right
在
now
坚
I'm
持
still
做
questioning
好的东
what's
西，
their
做
plan
难
for
的东
future
西，
because the game's
做
gonna end.
别人没有做过的
Really.
东西，
It's
那
like the
这个
game is already
优
at the
势就不
brink
会
of
轻易
its
的丧失掉。
end of
这就是
service
原神以及
or
整
at
个米
least
哈游
end
所
of
坚持的
story.
something new, something exciting, something out of imagination。我们有信心，也必然可以在未来持续给玩家带来新的惊喜。
So I guess that's it. That's it. What the fuck? Is that? Is that? Okay. Okay, guys. For you who plays the game, this is like you can check. This is the redemption code. Not cry 0910. What the hell does that mean? Like, oh yeah, September 10. So 6.0 is exchanged with Song of the Welkin Moon, or whatever update it's gonna be, right? It means that they're gonna stretch Snesnaya way longer than I thought. At least that one is clear. It's so after 5.8, it's not gonna be 6.0. It's gonna be Song of the Welkin Moon, which means we're not gonna be in Snesnaya yet. Well. Anyway, I see some sneak peek over there. Okay, there was like concept art and stuff. Sure, we're gonna wait it when it's released. We will see like the complete stuff, right? And then just what's their ideas behind every faction, and is not cry will be like and what is the design choices that will cover Nordcry. They said it's gonna be like a special. It's not really like based on nations. It's gonna be like based on person. So it's kind of like a mixed match of everything. But that's pretty much about Nordcry. Now they also talk about what will be the future of the game. They kind of like talking about roundabout way. So I cannot really understand that. I'm sorry, I'm too full to understand whatever they're talking about. But here's what I want to say. This project and this concept are ambitious. The problem is also lies there. You guys made an RPG game. Now an RPG game has stories. Now the stories will end one day. So how long can you stay online? Right? That is the main question. How long can you still stay in service? How long are you gonna stretch it out? that's pretty much about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you another time. Cheers.